for a walk, so I'm going to make a smoothie. I've got some frozen berries, some frozen spinach, some questionable looking strawberries and some extremely brown bananas, oat milk and some flax seeds. I'm making us smoothies at the moment and then putting some in these little lollipop moulds because they're a great after nap snack apparently, aren't they, baby? Hello! I thought I would try and just catch bits of film here and there because I'm not able to carve out a chunk to do an actual podcast at the moment, so I thought maybe this would be better than nothing. It'd get me back into filming and talking about what I'm doing because I haven't done that for such a long time, and hopefully I can catch some things along the way that I might want to look back on in time to come. It's funny how I found having a baby sort of made me really think about capturing memories and much more than I did before. I think because things change so quickly with him at the moment, so I just want to catch it all and remember it all. Let's go in a different room because the sun's weird in there. He's upstairs playing with Daddy at the moment. We're supposed to be getting ready to go for a walk, but something's distracted him upstairs. So yeah, I just thought I would try and film a few little bits here and there. I've not been doing a lot of knitting, but I've been doing a little bit, so you might be interested to see that. And I've been working on a couple of designs, so I'll be able to show you them. One I'm really hoping will be out very soon because it's a little bit different to my usual and I'm a bit nervous about it. I get nervous about all of my patterns when I put them out. I get really worried that people won't like them, but I'm really trying to let go of that because I can't control other people, so I can just control what I'm doing. So I can make a pattern that I like and write it in a way that I think is clear and put it out there and be pleased with what I'm putting out there, and then whatever happens from there I have to let go of. It's just always so exciting when I see people working on my patterns and choosing yarn for it, and it's lovely, but yeah, I just need to put them out with no expectations or worries, because that sometimes will make me think, well, maybe this isn't good enough, maybe I shouldn't put this out, and that's an unhelpful voice. So I think the last time I did any filming was December, and it's now September. It's, I think, the 19th today. So yeah, I don't know how long it will take me to put this video together, but we'll see. But such a lot has changed since then for everyone, I think. Yeah, I couldn't recap on everything that's happened. But yeah, lots and lots has happened, but I haven't finished any knitting projects except a hat for a friend's baby. So yeah, that's the only one thing I finished, I think, in 9 months. And my sample for one of my patterns, the one I'm a little bit nervous about, so I'll show you that soon. Anyway, I just wanted to start this video off by telling you what I plan, and hopefully it will all come to be. Like I said, we're going to go for a walk today, so I'll probably take you along for that. It's beautifully sunny outside. I'm wearing shorts in September, which is bizarre. Well, it's climate change, it's not bizarre, it's terrible. Yeah, so I just thought I'd check in and say hi and let you know what I planned, and hopefully it will come to fruition. I can hear them coming down the stairs now, so hopefully we'll be going out for our walk soon. And there's Bobbin. Hello, Bobbin! Say hello, Bobbin! Good boy.
Mama.
Baby, what have you got?
Smell this.
Bobbins being carried too. Because it's very rocky, isn't it? Yeah. we're home from our walk. Oh, I've just remembered something. A knife. And we had a nap. I also had a nap, which was very, very pleasant. But now I'm just trying to get lunch together. So I've put some dough balls to prove. I've used this recipe book. It's called Vegan Fake Away by Katy Beskow. And it's just such a good book. I really like it. It's got so many easy recipes with ingredients that you probably have in the house anyway. And I love recipe books like that, where you don't have to... I'm not a big planner when it comes to food, so I like if I can go and pick something out of the book and then I already have what you need. So yeah, that's on to prove. I'm going to just make some like carbonara creamy pasta to go with it. And I'm also going to make some nacho cheese because it's the best. It is the best thing ever. And it is literally just green chilies, jalapenos, cashew nuts, lemon juice, salt and a bit of water. And it's so tasty. It tastes just like the nacho cheese you get in cinemas, which this is a vegan recipe. I'm pretty sure that's never seen any real cheese either, but it's not actually vegan. And I love it. So I was so happy to find this recipe because it's so tasty. And David doesn't like chilies, so it's all mine. And it usually lasts me a couple of days, not very long, because it's so tasty. So yeah, they're outside playing at the moment, so I thought I'd cook a couple of things ready for lunch, make myself some dip, and then try and go and do some knitting. At the moment I'm working on a Boxy. I'm doing the worsted Boxy. I'm using Malabrigo Rios in Frank's Ochre. I'm going to get it and show you here now while I have time. So yeah, strange place to show you my knitting, but here we are. It's really bright outside today, so I've got the blind closed, which is why the light's a bit funny. But yeah, this is my Boxy, and I'm not 100% keen on this colour. In the listing on the website, it looked really warm and rich and orangey, but in person it's got much more of a green tinge. But I think that I'll like it enough to wear it, and I think the shape means that I'll wear it quite a lot, because I'll only wear it with jeans anyway, really, because it's quite a thick jumper, and I wear my other Boxy quite a lot. So I'm sure I will. I could have, this was ages ago that I got this yarn, I could have sort of sent it back and tried to find the colour I wanted, but it's such a faff, isn't it? So I think I'll like it enough. But this has just been my knitting when baby goes to bed, I go and sit with him while he's sleeping. So this has just been really nice to not have to concentrate. I can have a really dim light on, listen to an audiobook or watch something on the iPad or my earphones and just knit a bit on this. And it's actually grown loads. So I think I started it quite a while ago and it was probably about there. And then just a couple of nights sitting with him while he's sleeping, it has grown that much. So very pleased with that, because the weather's going to get cooler soon. And I would love to have it ready for when it gets cooler, but we'll see. I was knitting a ripple crop top. I thought that would be really nice to have for when it's warmer, starting to get cooler, but I've got so bored of it that I'm not working on it anymore, which is such a shame because I love the colour of that. That's the colour that I wish this was, but I've just lost all momentum with it, and now I'm thinking it's getting to be chillier, I probably won't wear it anyway. And so yeah, this one, because it's just completely plain, I may have it done in time that I can actually wear it. It's getting a bit more work, but I cast this on. I've got so many ends here because I cast this on, I've forgotten words because I haven't spoken about knitting for ages. Long tail cast on with 2 yarns, so you have the yarns from 2 different balls, so it just means that you don't have to guess how much yarn you'll need, or you don't have to work out how much yarn you'll need. You can just use the 2 and then cut one off at the end, because it's a lot of stitches. I can't remember how many, but it's a couple of hundred probably. So I just thought that that would be easier for my sanity than doing it and then having to rip it out and do it again, because I would not enjoy that. When knitting time's so limited, you just want to be doing the actual fun bits, don't you? And I didn't want to be spending it ripping out stuff. And so that the bottom doesn't kick up, I tried this different technique. I can't remember where I read about it, but you do the rib, and then I think it's when you're starting to go into plain knitting, you slip the knit stitch and then knit the purl stitch. And this is knit 1, purl 1, so you'll be slipping every other stitch. And it really does, I mean, it's not blocked yet or anything, but it does seem to stay down. So I'm really hopeful about that, because my other Boxy, the fingering weight one I did, the hem does kick up a bit. So yeah, I'm hoping that that will work. I'm alternating 2 skeins because the balls are very different. I'm nearly finished with one of them, which is exciting. It's lovely seeing progress, especially on something so big, and I know I'll probably get a lot of wear out of when it's finished. Another thing I wanted to mention, I've just gone to get this. This was a cardigan I was wearing this morning, and this was my Like a Cloud cardigan. It's by Locatelli, and it's in Cozy Posy Yarn Co. I can't remember what this colourway was called, but it's just gorgeous. I love it. And the pattern is in 2 strands of mohair. That's how the pattern's written. Just seeing a little pulled stitch there, so I'm going to have to. And you know why that is? Because that's on this side. That's the side I carry Bob in, and his little claws go into my side. So yeah, there's a little pulled stitch. But yes, this pattern is written so you hold 2 strands of mohair together to knit the whole thing, I think. But I just did 1 strand of fingering weight yarn, and I love how it turned out. It's just the right size as well to be just so comfy, and sort of a nice cozy light layer for when you need a little bit more warmth. And I love the long rib on the wrists and the bottom. Don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I really like this one. It's such a comfy cozy one, and the textured stitches just make it lovely and cozy. But yeah, I knitted this ages ago. I remember actually I took a photo of this 4 days before I went into labour, so I finished it quite a while ago. Well, nearly 2 years ago now, but I love it, and I thought you might be curious because you saw me wear it in the video earlier. Our walk was so lovely. The woods are just so interesting at this time, because a lot of the fungus is going, but then we saw this tree and it just had a load of mushrooms or fungus, I don't actually know the difference, all up the tree, and it was just so beautiful. And I should have taken a video of it. I find it really difficult actually doing these vlogs, because I don't know how people do it with any sort of constant, because I find it really hard to be present when I'm thinking about what I should film. That's why I sort of have it on focused tasks, so coming and making some food. I'll film a little bit of that and then put the camera away, because yeah, I find it really hard to be present, so I don't know how other people manage it. But yes, I'm very aware that I was just talking extremely quickly for probably most of that, because I'm never sure when my time's going to be up, so I just wanted to get as much out there as possible. But I'm going to go put these away and start my cheese sauce, which I'm so excited about. My son's cardigan, if you notice that, it's not handmade. I haven't actually knitted him very much at all, because he just grows so quickly and I knit so slowly that the combination, I could plan ahead and sort of plan something and knit it that will fit him in the future, but I'm not at that stage right now. Maybe when he's a bit older and grows a little bit slower. It's October now, the 2nd of October. I think the last bit that I filmed was sort of mid-September. So the weather has completely changed. We were out in shorts and short sleeves in the last video, and it is pouring with rain today and it's so grey. So I've got the overhead lights on. I hope the light's not too bad. But yeah, it's completely changed. I love this weather. I love this weather even more if I can stay in. It's just so blustery and wet and lovely. But I thought I'd come and show you a couple of things that I'm working on, and I released a pattern yesterday which I'm so thrilled to have out now, because it's one that's been in my mind for quite a while. I'll show you that first actually. So it's these. I called them the chanterelle socks because they were inspired by our walks in the woods. We go on walks in the woods very often, like every weekend, both days we're out for a couple of hours in the woods. I don't know if we will be today because it's really wet. But maybe we will. If there's a break in the rain, we might. But anyway, they're inspired by walks in the woods and all of the mushrooms that we were seeing on trees, and the thought of, I got some new to me Doc Martens, and I thought how sweet would they look tromping through the leaves, big chunky DMs with these cute little frills popping over the top. So yeah, they were inspired by that sort of thing. And chanterelle is just such a pretty name, isn't it, for a mushroom, that which actually is quite, it's got this sort of frilly top, and then these go down into a rib so they stay up in your shoes really nicely, in your boots really nicely. And I was reading about the chanterelle when I was sort of trying to work out the name and working out my inspiration, and they actually have ridges that go down the stem, so I thought it just fitted really well with these socks, and I'm so pleased with them. I think they're so cute. They've got a sort of rolled hem at the top, and then you attach the ruffle, which is really quite simple to do. There's no picking up stitches or anything. So yeah, I'm really pleased with them. This yarn is Mr. B's, and it is the sock base, and it's in a touch of mink, and I just really like that colour. It's interesting, I always find it really interesting seeing what you can see on the video. So in real life, and it's a mixture of the lighting as well, in real life it's quite a uniform colour, but on the video I can see that you can see quite a few sort of darker patches which just don't show up very much to the naked eye. So it's quite interesting, but I love that colour. It's sort of browny, grey sort of mixture. That's one of my favourite colours. And then this is, now I can't remember how to pronounce this. I think it's Isaiah. I know that someone told me before and it's slipped my mind again, but it's their silk mohair, and it's just so pretty and such a lovely colour, and the colours just have the same sort of tone that means that they go really nicely together. It's such a fluffy frill, I just love it. So yeah, that's my new pattern I put out yesterday. I was quite nervous about it because it's a little bit out of my comfort zone. I've not done anything with a frill before, but I love them, and I can tell that I will wear them a lot. Although I really must remember, because a lot of my socks just go in the washing machine and then somehow find their way into the tumble dryer. These must not, because this will just felt. So these will be a wear occasionally hand wash pair, I think. So yeah, I'm really excited to share those with you. I'm working on another design at the moment. I think that they've just been outside in the car playing. It's one of my little one's favourite things to do, is play with the steering wheel in Daddy's car. I think they're just coming in. They're all wet, even though they've just walked from the car to the house. So I'd better go, and I will come and tell you about the other things soon. I've come upstairs a minute while they play downstairs just to show you the only other thing that I'm working on at the moment, apart from another design, but that's not really ready to show yet. Yeah, so the other project I've been working on, I'm still working on my Boxy. Don't think it's grown a huge amount. Yeah, it might have actually. I think I've added in another ball since I showed it to you last, and I think I'm ready to add in another ball for because I'm alternating the skeins. So yeah, I think I'm nearly ready to add that in as well. So it must have grown a little bit. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you this one that I'm working on. So I'm knitting my second love note, and I don't think that I showed you my first one. So I've got my first one here to show you as well. Now this is pink. It's very, very pink. I used... Bobbin's gonna knock the door open. Bobbin, I'm in here. Here he comes. He's changed his mind. So I knit this one in. There he is. Hello, Bob. Are you coming in? Come on then. Shut the door again. Coming up then, baby. Coming up. So I knit this one in birthday cake. Hello, come here, baby. Show everyone how beautiful you are. Oh, lovely Bobbin. Oh, I can smell he has just had a treat. So yeah, this is knitted in Hedgehog Fibres birthday cake. Now I had 2 skeins of birthday cake. I got one when I went to a yarn store in Bath, and then I had this idea that I really wanted to knit something that took 2 skeins of it. So I looked for it everywhere, and I couldn't find it, but then I found a skein on a D-stash on Ravelry, and so I bought that, and it came, but it was so different. It was one of them was very pink, and the one that I bought was very pink, and the one that I bought on D-Stash was very purple. So I didn't want to actually use them in something that you could tell, and I didn't want to have to. It was on a chaussure shrug. I knew that you'd be able to tell, and I didn't want to work out how to alternate skeins on that because it's brioche and it was knit with 2 colours anyway. So I thought, oh, that sounds like such a palaver, I just don't even want to get into that. But then I thought, with the love note, it might work because you're holding it with the mohair, which just sort of fuzzies up what you see, doesn't it, and changes the colour a little bit. So I thought it might make it a bit more, a bit less noticeable that the colours were so different. You're right, Bob. And I think it worked. So I started it in the colour that I liked most, which was the pinker of the two, and then I think I held a bit back for this. I can't remember if I did actually. Yes, I did. I think I held a little bit back for the sleeves, and then I just alternated sort of a few rows when I was joining in the other yarn, and then started the sleeves in the pinker and then alternated while I brought in the other yarn. And it doesn't look really noticeable that there's 2 very, very different colours. You can't even see it really on the camera, and that picks up everything, like I was just saying about the socks. So I'm really pleased I did that. And the mohair I got from the Little Grey Sheep when I went there last year for their open day, and I can't remember, I think it was the owner's daughter was dyeing some yarn to raise money for something, and I bought 2 skeins of that, and it was just a really bright pink, very not, it's sort of a corally pink, not, don't lie on that baby because I'm just about to show that, hang on, there you go. Not something I usually would choose, so I was surprised with myself, but I really like it. I did the sleeves a tiny bit longer. I love these sort of sleeves because they are just, are they called balloon sleeves? I'm not sure. It's the same sleeves as these on the Ingalls sweater actually. They're just knit straight, and then I think you knit 2 together all the way around just to cinch it in. Favourite sort of sleeve. The thing about sleeves that I really don't like is when you have to remember how to, or remember when you have to decrease. Lots of people say, oh, they're just big socks, but they're not if you have to decrease. But this is like a big sock because you just have to knit it plain, not remember to decrease at all, and that is just the best. I quite like how they fit as well. I like a bit of a more voluminous sleeve. I wasn't sure about this when I first finished it. I'll try and get a picture of it on to add in, because it's cropped and I'm not used to a cropped jumper, but I really like it now. It's so soft. I also wasn't sure about the mohair because I have very, very vivid memories of mohair jumpers that my mum lovingly knit for me in the 80s. And they were so scratchy. They were wonderful. Mum just invented these jumpers. Oh, I wish I had a photo. I think I put one on my Instagram years ago. I wonder if Mum's got a photo. I might ask her, see if I can get a, see if I can show you. But they were sort of odds and ends of mohair that she fashioned into a pattern of her own to knit the jumper, and they were just wonderful. But I had to wear them with a really high roll neck, really long sleeves, because they were so itchy. So I sort of had visions of this being the same, but it's not at all. It's really soft. And this was Hedgehog Fibres base that they used quite a long time ago, and it's a super soft one. So the combination are just lovely. I think my baby needs me. So as I did like it, I've cast on a new one. And this one is so interesting. I didn't do a gauge swatch for either. I just sort of assumed that it would be fine. This one it's perfect. Perfect fit. Which is a very happy occurrence when I didn't gauge swatch. But this one I'm doing exactly the same, and it's much bigger. Longer anyway, it doesn't seem to be much wider. Hello! I know Mummy's got the camera.
Oh.
Got a little visitor. I think the tripod's going. Oh. You're going under the tripod. Oh, lovely. So I've started a new one. Now this is knitted in yarn that I've rescued from a Shisui shrug that I was knitting. I was on the sleeves of that, so I had, it's a brioche huge shrug thing, and I was using this yarn and a pink silk, and it was lovely. I was so close to finishing it, but then I just realised that I just wasn't going to wear it, and I just wasn't excited about it anymore. I really enjoyed knitting it, but I just wasn't going to wear it, so I ripped it all out and rescued this yarn, and this yarn is just so lovely. It's got so many little pretty flecks of delicate colour in it, and I'm using this, which the camera will almost certainly not focus on, but it's that, I can't remember, it's that alpaca fuzzy one. So it's not mohair, but it's alpaca fuzz, and it's slightly thicker, and I think that's changed the gauge quite a bit. I think it's changed the row gauge quite a bit, because unless I just haven't measured properly, but it just looks longer to me. And I love the fabric that it's making, because it's really fuzzy and you can just see the tiny flecks of colour. It feels heavier than the mohair one, but I think it's going to be lovely and cosy. It's so soft. I might even knit more of these jumpers. I really like how little yarn they use. It's two... Baby! Hello! I think it's 2 skeins of fingering weight and 2 skeins of mohair. The tripod's being used as an arch again. So I really like this. I'm just working on the first sleeve now, and hopefully they won't take me too long, because they're the nice balloon sleeves, so no decreasing. So it shouldn't be too horrible to knit. But yeah, I really like that, and I might knit another one. I just really like the jumper. It seems to go quite quickly. It's on quite big needles, and it's such a nice finished garment. So I really like this one. Yeah, I'll try and get some pictures of wearing this one so that you can see, but it's very short. What have you got there, baby? Daddy, help him.
I'm in the bus.
Okay. I think my time's up again, so we'll be back soon. Here's the photo that I mentioned of me in my mohair jumper knitted by Mum, with lots of odds and ends of mohair. You can see the very, very high neck jumper underneath. It's so lovely, isn't it? Hello. It's now a couple of weeks later than the last bit I filmed, and I remembered I hadn't shown you my jumper, so I've just put it on over what I was wearing, so it looks a bit funny, but this is the jumper. It's really, I really like it. It's got a high-low hem, just really easy one to wear. I like the length of the sleeves. I have realised though that I haven't even sewn in my ends on my sleeves, let alone trimmed them off. I think because I was wondering if I was going to make them longer, but I'm not going to because I quite like this length. And it's so soft. I think the base of the hedgehog fibres is so soft, and then this mohair is so soft. It's just like a cloud to wear. So yeah, with my second one, I remembered that I hadn't mentioned this neckline. You do a provisional cast on, and then you pick up your stitches and knit the neck band on. But with the second one, I cast on the neck band and just knit it down. So I didn't do the provisional cast on because I knew how it would fit and I knew how many stitches worked for me, so I didn't need to do that this time. But yeah, I really like it. Is this a baby coming in? Hello. So, as I said just now when I showed you my Love Note jumper, it's been about 2 weeks since the last bit of filming that I did. We've just been out for a really wet walk, which was lovely. Little one's got a new all-in-one suit, so he was in his element, running through puddles, and it was really, really nice. I guess I'm kind of saying that to say, excuse the hair. I've noticed in these videos, I'm not looking at my most polished, but that is just life now. It's just as I was talking about that, more life happened because my camera battery died and I didn't have a spare one charged, so I've just gone and got our dinner ready while I waited for that battery to charge. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I think because when I used to do these podcasts, I used to always put makeup on, make sure I was wearing something nice, and that part was on my mind a bit. But now I've just sort of decided that that's not where I want to spend my time. In this sort of brief moments that I get to come and sort of film something or do a bit of knitting and show you what I've been working on, I'd rather just come and do that rather than lose half of that time trying to make myself look a bit more presentable. And I know, realistically, none of you are here to critique my makeup or anything, so that was something that I did for me to make myself feel more confident about being in front of the camera. But yeah, I've just decided that that's not where I want to spend my time at the moment. So yeah, if it's too off-putting for anyone, I am sorry. But that's just how I'm feeling right now. So the reason I wanted to come back and talk to you again before I put the video up is because I just released the honey cream socks. This is my newest pattern, and this one was inspired by Brambley Hedge, and they are beautiful books by Jill Barklam. I read them when I was little and just love them. They have the most beautiful illustrations, the loveliest, like, peaceful little stories. And I've been wanting to design some patterns based on those stories for quite a long time now, so I'm really excited that I finally did. The name Honey Creams, I just love how food is described in the books, and Honey Creams was the name of some food in the book. I don't actually know what it was. It didn't sort of go into any detail, so I've imagined them like biscuits, and so I sort of imagined sort of these cables are little stacks of biscuits, and they're so evocative for your imagination, these books, because they're not, like, paired with the illustrations, it just gets you into the world of Brambley Hedge. They're just lovely. So yeah, it just sparks things in your imagination, and they're so enjoyable to read. If you haven't read them, and I know lots and lots of you have, because I asked on Instagram and there were so many people who really love them too. They are classic books, but if you haven't read them before, I'd really recommend it. If you like beautiful illustrations and sweet little stories, you just can't miss with those. We've got the audiobooks now and we listen to those sometimes. They're just so sweet. But yeah, they inspired these socks. The yarn I've used is from, it's Ainsworth and Prynne, who are sold at the Knitting Shed, and it's in their classic sock in the honeycomb colour, and I absolutely love this yarn. I've designed another pair of socks in this yarn, the Scattered Kisses socks. The base is so beautiful to work with. It makes such lovely, comfortable, hard wearing socks, and the dyeing is just so pretty. The colours are just, they're just lovely. I really love them. I got this yarn last year at Fibre East. I remember I was there with my baby in a sling. So it blows my mind how quickly things change. And yeah, I just vividly remember that day. Met up with some friends, I went with my mum. It was just lovely. It was a lovely, lovely day. But I got this yarn there and I saved it because I knew it wanted to be a design. I originally was thinking about something different for it, but this just felt right, and I just love it. It's such lovely yarn, and I think that it shows up the pattern really well. So I'm really pleased with these. The repeat, once you have the pattern established, the repeat is so short, just a few rows, and you can see from the row above what you've done. So once you've just got it started, it's so simple to commit to memory. So you shouldn't need to look at your pattern. It should be just a really nice, relaxing, pleasant knit. I hope. It was for me anyway. I'm quite tempted to knit another pair because I really enjoyed them. There was just something so meditative, and I started it and then had to put it down for quite a while, but I picked it up and I knew exactly where I was. I sort of got back into the rhythm straight away. So yeah, I'm really pleased with those, and I'm so thrilled that they're out. I never know when things are going to come out. It's just all of a sudden I'll have a flurry of confidence to put something out, and it happens. I can sort of put myself off for a really long time by thinking, oh no, they're not good enough, and then all of a sudden I think, no, I've worked really hard on this, I really like them, just put them out. Yeah, and very happily, lots of you have been really positive about them too, which I appreciate so much. It's so lovely getting such kind feedback when you put yourself out there. It's kind of vulnerable, and so even like this, it is kind of putting yourself in a bit of a vulnerable position, but it's so nice when people are kind and respond well and are excited for you and excited about what you've put out there. It's so lovely. Someone did mention on the Instagram post for this that they hope that there'll be others in this series, and I hope so too. I have 2 more in mind, inspired by Brambley Hedge, so I hope that I can get those put together. I was working on one, and I've got the name, I've got the pattern pretty much sorted in my head, and I'm using this lovely wool from Loom. Is it this bag? Oh no, it's not, it's over there. Hang on, I'll go and get it and I'll show you quick. So I'm using this lovely wool from Loom, and I had to rip back because I decided something didn't quite look, it didn't look right, it wasn't quite, the flow was wrong. So I'd knit about sort of this much, it just didn't feel right, so I've started again. And it's in Antiquity and it's just so pretty. See if the camera will show you how beautiful it is. It's so lovely, isn't it? It's such a delicate colour. And so yeah, I've got the pattern I think pretty sorted in my head now that I've just tweaked that little bit, and I've got the name. I've just got to write it up, send it to some test knitters, and then hopefully get that one out there. And then for the last one I've got a name that I'd like to use, but I haven't got the pattern, and I've got some yarn that I'd like to use, but I haven't got the pattern in my head yet. I need to have a think about that. And for some reason I just really like when I'm doing a sort of series, I like the yarn to go. Even though the socks will never probably be together, I just find it enjoyable to make them all go together. I did with the Vintage Love Story collection. If you do put those socks all together, they really go well. Not that I ever did. It's funny, isn't it? The things that just bring you pleasure, even though you probably never do them. It's just the thought of them. It's just so lovely, the thought of them all matching. So yes, that one's next. And I'm also working on the Christmas pattern, which I've knitted a sample, and I'm just getting the yarn now together, and that'll be being worked up soon. I need to write the pattern down and get that one to test knitters too. I was thinking, oh gosh, I'm not going to be able to do a Christmas pattern. I talk myself out of things quite a lot. I think I've probably mentioned that. So I was telling myself that I wouldn't be able to do it, and then this idea came to mind and I knitted it up, and it works. But I'm so nervous about it. And it's silly. I think it was earlier in the podcast, this podcast, because I put the footage that I had together yesterday so far. I think I was saying about how I was really trying to get myself to just be happy with my part in this, not have any expectations. So just write a pattern that I'm pleased with, make a design that I like, write the pattern clearly, and then put it out there, and what will be will be. I've done the part that I can control. It's still very much a work in progress. I love the Christmas socks, but for some reason I'm really nervous about them. But yes, so that's what I've got going on at the moment, design wise. It's lovely to be able to be getting back to that and having the ideas coming. It's always so nice, because after I finished one I always think, oh, that's the last idea I'm never going to have. So it's really nice when another one comes. But yeah, so that's two new patterns that I've talked about in these videos, the chanterelle socks and the honey cream socks. I do hope you like them. I think they're coming back. They've been driving in Daddy's car again. But my next job is to knit this doll a jumper. Who's coming? Hello, baby. What have you been up to? Yeah? You want your coat off? Come on then, let's take your coat off. Oh, that's it. On that note, I had better go. So it's been lovely speaking to you after so long. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I hope you like the new patterns that I've put out there. I'm really hoping to record a bit more now. I thought as soon as I finish this, I'll try recording a few bits and hopefully make another video much sooner than the last one, because I think it was 9 months since my last video. So yes, I hope to see you all soon. Bye.
Mom.
Yes, baby. Okay. This is Brambly Head. The illustrations are just so sweet and lovely.